Hi guys, how's it going? I'm back. I'm filming the last part of my top 10 figures of 2019. Just quickly want to say, not every figure I bought this year is in front of you. My top 10 is up here, and then just like the last things I picked up that haven't been on the video. And one guy this guy that I was reconsidering, but I don't think he's sticking now. I will say 2 figures that would definitely have ended up on this list, or 4 actually. So like I really wanted the Black Series Mandalorian by the end of the year, and unfortunately I just was not able to track him down. He would have been in my top 3, and Wavy Cap might have broke my top 3 as well, but I was unfortunately... So I pre-ordered both of those figures and they got cancelled. 2 other figures that I ordered and the pre-order got cancelled was the 80 Years Iron Man and Captain America. I got my Thor, as you can see, but I didn't get Captain America or Iron Man. That's probably going to be next year, and then I will not be able to actually consider them for a list, unfortunately. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. Now we'll get to these figures, starting with this guy right up in front. So these 2, well, actually I'll do it like this. These 3 are the only like newish Star Wars figures I've picked up towards the end of the year. This guy is definitely not getting on. So I just want to quickly say he's miles marks above the original release. But I don't know, it's like everyone's like, oh my god, like he's got new elbow articulation and that makes the figure amazing. Yeah, that is true, but and I don't know what it is, but I cannot, it's like the hinge does not work. Maybe it's just my figure, but they seem to have messed up with the head. I'm not sure, but I cannot get it to move. Also, I'm not sure if I've got this right. I've tried it on both hands, but this shield is terrible, and it will not fit properly on any hand. It shakes about. It's very hard to get him in a pose where he actually looks like he's trying to defend himself with it. So definitely not going on the list. We'll just stick him over there. I can't believe, right, that thing... I'm just going to lay him down. Comes from the same company who do the Captain America, and they just can't get a shield right. It's bizarre. Even the shield clip thing that the Captain America figures use is better than... Pardon me. Is 10 times better than that. Here we go. So this guy... looks really nice. This is a carbonized version. He's very pearlesque and stuff. I was really happy to have this figure. I don't know how much of his mould is taken from any other figure. I'll have to look at the First Order Troopers a bit more. But I really do like this figure. He just gets beaten out by things that I like more. And also, he's got these janky dints in the top of his head that I'm assuming are an accident. Like, he's not supposed to have them. Really good figure though, really shiny. He just looks really nice. Okay, and then we've got Rey. Unfortunately, she isn't making the list, so that is both the female figures I picked up this year that are really, really good, but they just get beaten out. So it's like, I imagine they had the original Rey from The Force Awakens and was like, how can we make this cooler, or how can we make it better? And they absolutely did that. This is an amazing figure. I'm not really happy with how the elbows came out, but she's a really good figure, and if I put it down and let the camera focus, she's got a really good... now she won't stand up. There you go. She does actually have a really good likeness to Daisy Ridley, so I was pretty happy with that. She, like I said, there's just things on here I like more. Oh my god, so I really, really want to put this guy on my top 10. I don't think I will. at the end of the day. But just so I'm saying it here now, this thing is a brilliant little figure. It's from the Galaxy of Adventures line. He's got like a double, I'll show you. He's got a double ball peg up there in the head. So, I mean, you can get some pretty cool photographs of this guy. He is very stylized, so be aware of that. He might not even be on your radar, as these are basic figures aimed at kids. But he's so dynamic and posable, even as an ankle pivot on a basic figure. So you can get him in some really dynamic sort of stances, and he's just cool to photograph. He's definitely worth a mention, even though he's, not getting on the list. I really want the Galaxy of Adventures Boba Fett now. I am impressed with that line. I might even pick up more. Quickly just get these guys out the way. So I cannot tell you why I like this figure so much. He's fairly basic. He's just black and white. But damn, is he such a clean looking figure. And also, like, maybe the fact he didn't come on a bike has swayed my judgment on him and stuff. But I just really like him. A lot of people who come over to my house seem to like him. He just stands out. He has a presence. So I really liked him. He's been considered for my top 10 all year. And he has, the articulation that other figures are missing at the minute. Because he has that butterfly joint, which works quite nicely and stuff. So yeah, updated figure. Just a really, really good figure. It gets his gun in his little billy club, so that's pretty awesome. Unfortunately, he gets beat out, just like this guy. So I got the Jump Trooper pretty late in the year. I actually thought, I was missing out on this guy. I didn't think I'd end up getting him. So I was really happy to get him. I have played with this thing and posed it around to no end. Easily one of my favourite Black Series figures that have come out this year, maybe of all time. But again, he's fairly basic, and he gets beat out by figures that I'm more inclined. That's not the right word. Some other figures just get me a little bit more. But this guy is pretty cool. If he's on your top 10, then there's nothing wrong with that. He is brilliant, and he probably is one of my top 10 Black Series figures that I've picked up this year. If not, he might be, well, he's not number one, but he's definitely up there. Such a good figure, and I'm quite pleased to have him. So what we got at the minute? Right, we'll go for these guys. I love this Anakin Skywalker. He did come out this year with the updated head and stuff. I really want to put him on, but okay, this is the thing. This is how I will display Anakin on the shelf, okay? For me to do this, I had to get another figure for the robe to really make him pop. And now I feel like I'm going to have to dock him for that, because had he just been, on my list without the robe, which he was, he wasn't, he's a figure in himself, but I guess a lot of people don't really like the idea of buying a figure just for a robe so that they can do this, but this is how I will display him, and he didn't come like this, so I can't really put him on. I would feel wrong doing so. The other thing as well is, now I brought this guy back last time, you remember, because I've just had loads of fun with this figure. I do still really like it, but since, I don't know if you can see, it's not really showing up too well, but I added in some, I used boot polish on this Spidey figure just to make the lines on his suit more prominent, and because I've had to basically mod this figure to get it to really, really pop and do what I want it to, again, he's going to have to come off. But I love that figure. So we have 11 figures now in front. You can't see all 11. There we go. We have 11 figures in front Now, this is going to be very hard because I'll have to take one of these off, and I really don't want to. Okay, look, listen, right? I really, really am. Oh God, this is hard. Right, okay. This is what I'm gonna do. I love this guy, and I really did want to put him in my top 10. He's great. So this is Mirage. I will say that the Transformers Siege line, the War for Cybertron, it has been the wave that's impressed me the most so far. I just think every figure that's come out's been amazing. I really wanted to put this guy on, and I'm thinking, I don't know whether to take Ironhide off just because he's missing a little bit of paint. But he's my favourite Transformer, and I can't tell you how pleased I was to get that figure. I was absolutely elated. But this is great, and he deserves a mention. So you know what, Mirage, well done. You know, his Formula 1 car mode looks amazing. You know, there's so much playability. If you have any of the Siege figures, you know. But well done. Runner-up, number 11, Siege Mirage. Really like this figure. We'll put him to a side. And then you've got my top 10. So give me 1 second just to line these up a bit better, and I will get back to you. Okay guys, so here is my top 10. I'll do the order for you in just a second. I just quickly want to say, my top 10, in fact a lot of figures on my list all year have all been a Hasbro. I just want you to know, although the main lines I collect are Hasbro lines, I did not intend it to just be full of Hasbro figures. I had some NECA figures that I just wasn't impressed with, if I'm honest, so I sold them on. And the Higher Toys figures, there was a few Higher Toys I bought, and the QC was just so bad that I sent that shit back as well. I was just really unhappy, and the way it turned out, these were just my favourite figures, the ones in front of you now. It's kind of random that it just happened to all be Hasbro figures. So, at number 10, we have Ironhide. I really love this Ironhide. He's so G1. This is someone who, you know, I don't have the best job in the world. I don't have the best income, so masterpiece figures, way out my price range. Figure arts, a lot of import figures and stuff, well out my price range. And so I'm just really happy. This is the Ironhide for me. I was super, super pleased with it. Number 9, Hercules. I really love this figure. He was actually in my top 3. He's just been beaten by so many good action figures. But well done, Hasbro. They really, really did super well with that Hercules figure. I'm happy to have him. I'm glad they did the modernish sort of version of him. And I'm just really happy to finally have Hercules on my Avengers shelf. Next, we're going to go to number 8 would be the Shadow Ranger. That's interchangeable. It could go Lord Zed and then the Shadow Ranger, so I'll just talk about them too quickly. I felt really bad about taking Lord Zed off my list because he should absolutely 100% be on this list. Never, as of me filming this video, never have I ever seen a supervillain action figure done with so much love that Lord Zed has. Maybe the new Doctor Doom, but that Lord Zed absolutely 100% deserves to be on this list. I should never have taken him off in the first place. He's just sculpted excellently. They did a really good job of the wires and stuff. It doesn't look messy. Just really, really happy. And then with the Shadow Ranger, SPD is one of my favourite Power Rangers shows. The Shadow Ranger is one of my my favourite Power Rangers. So I was just really happy to get that guy, and they absolutely this is how super accurate it is. Like, the wolf on his sword, it's upside down. It looks wrong, but it's actually like that in the show. So they were even accurate to the point that his sword looks a bit strange. And I thought that was really, really cool of them that they actually followed through with that. And then we'll move on. So number 6 would be this guy, the Mud Trooper. Really, really happy with it. Solid figure, so many accessories. I can't wait to get out and do some photography of this guy when the weather gets better. Just really, really happy with it. Yeah, there's not much more I can say. Easily one of the best Black Series figures released this year. Easily in my top 3 Black Series as well. Number 5 would be the Ultimate Riders, the Ultimates Legendary Riders Captain America. I'm giving it to the full set. He has a whole slew of accessories that look really, really good. I like how his weapons fit in the pouches and stuff. The bike looks amazing. I'm going to give that some weathering. Just to bunch it up a little bit more. But what a set. Incredible. The helmet is even removable, and they could have just moulded that in place. But one thing that made me a huge Captain America fan, as it happens, was the Ultimates story, which I read in graphic novel form, and that big image of Captain America looking like this has been embedded in my mind for a very long time, so that's why he's on the list. Then we'll go to, what are we on, 5? Yeah. Number 4 is Optimus Prime. Like, the best Optimus Prime figure in my opinion that you can get out there. Just looks so G1, so fun to play with, so fun to pose around. Like I said, the Siege line has impressed me most out of everything this year, and if I was going to say like a newcomer line, it would probably be the Lightning Collection. They really, really have impressed me, because Black Series and Legends, they've just been good for a very, very long time. They are getting a lot better, but they, in my opinion, they've been good for a very long time. We're living in a golden age now, guys. Gone are the dark days of terrible figures. So, number 3 is Mace Windu. Ooh. Look at this guy. Look at his likeness to Samuel L. Jackson. He just looks amazing. Better than anything that Figure Arts have ever been put out, in my opinion. I don't think they even get close to some of the Black Series, but there you go. He's just like a mini Hot Toys, and I could go on all day. But easily one of my favourite Black Series of the year, if not my favourite. Definitely deserves that number 3 spot. That's Mace Windu. Number 2 is this Thor. I could argue and say that if I'd have got any of those 80 years Alex Ross figures, they might all have been on my list, but this Thor, it is so clean. It's everything I wanted in a classic Thor. He has the inscription on his hammer. You cannot go wrong. This is the Thor figure that I've always wanted and just never known, because every Thor figure I've got, I've been like, well, it's cool, it's okay, people know it's Thor, but no, this one is the one to go with. It is Thor incarnate. Just such a good figure, an amazing sculpt, amazing articulation. He would have been number 1 if it was just a bit more natural to be able to turn his head and stuff, but definitely deserves that spot. I'm incredibly, incredibly happy that I ended up getting Thor, and he probably would end up maybe being my favourite out of the 380 years figures. I don't know, it's hard because the other two, obviously, I don't have them in my hand, but there you go. And then lastly, guys, what can I say? This is someone who never had any of the legacy figures, never could afford the Figure Arts versions, but White Ranger, he was my absolute hero as a kid. He still is my number 1 hero, just my favourite guy. They could bring this guy out every year and he would probably top it. So just absolutely amazing piece. Hasbro should be very proud of themselves for all of these figures, but in my opinion, the best one is this White Ranger. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed my top 10. That is going to do it. We'll see what next year brings. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe and all of that stuff, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.